Hi everyone, welcome to Tech Trend Academy. In this video, we're going to be talking about the CSS pseudo element. So let's proceed. It says the CSS pseudo element is a keyword that can be added to a selector to style a specific part of an element. So we have common uses, that is, style the first letter or the first line of an element, insert content before or after an element, style the markers of list items, you style the user selected portion of an element, and as well, you style the view box behind a dialog box. So the pseudo elements are denoted by a double colon. So the pseudo class is always like a single colon, but pseudo elements are with double colon, followed by a pseudo element name. So that is the syntax for the pseudo element. So let's move to the next one. So we have an example, which is the first class line pseudo element. So the first line pseudo element is used to add a special style to the first line of a text. So we have a note, the first line pseudo elements can only be applied to block level elements. Then we have a format. Format the first line of the text in all p tags. So this is how it goes. This is so this is how it goes. We have the double colon first line, then that's how it works. Then we have the first letter too as well. So let's create example around that. So we're going to come here, then we'll say p tag, oh, I forgot. We're going to say h2, then we can say using first line. Then we'll come here, we'll have a p tag, then we can say you can use the first line pseudo element to style the following. We can just use that. Now let's come to our CSS. Then we'll come here, we'll say p tag. So don't forget double colon. That's how it works. Then we can style the color as red. We can probably give it font variant, font size 90 pixel. Then we can give it font variant of small caps. So we want to make use of small caps. Now let's check our results for this. So as you can see, so this is how it works. The first line, can you see the first line? If we have another, so let me repeat more. Let's repeat more of this. Let's say lorem in this aspect or shift health. So you can see the difference between the first line and the second line. Now let's check it out. Can you see the difference? So this is the first line, then the second line. So this one took effect because that is the first line. If we have lorem also as well, lorem, you will see the effect as well. So now let's check it out as well. Can you see how this two works? So that is this for that. I hope you understand. So that's the first line pseudo element. So the next one we have is the CSS first letter pseudo element. The first letter pseudo element is used to add a special style to the first letter of a text. Then we have a note. The first letter pseudo element can only be applied to block level elements. Then we have an example. Let's create another example. We can take this one off so it won't affect what we've done. Then we'll come here, we'll say H2, then we'll say using first line, first letter pseudo element. Then after that, we'll have a p tag. Then we can say we want to try the first letter pseudo element. So let's work with that. Then we'll come here, we'll start it. Okay, let's just do this. Then we'll come to our CSS and we are going to comment this out as well. Then in this aspect, we'll have the first letter. Then inside this first letter, we want the color to be FF0000. Then we can have this. Then we would say the font size should be, let's say 30 pixel. Then we can as well say the font weight should be bold. Now let's check our results. So can you see how this works? So this is the first letter pseudo element. Let's move to the next one. The next one is the CSS before pseudo element. The before pseudo element is used to insert some content before the content of a specified element. Use the content property to specify the content to insert. So this is how you insert H3 before. You can use like an image that will come before the H3. Then we also have the after. Let's go with the first one. Would come here, would say, want to have the H2, I would say using the before element. Then we would come here. So we want to use the before, we can say H2 and say this is heading. This is a heading. Then after that, we would have a p tag. Then inside this p tag, we will say this before pseudo element inserts content before the content element. Now let's style it. We can take this one. It's okay. Now let's style it. So come here, we'll say H2, then before the pseudo element. Then inside it, what do you want to have? We'll say content. We can use URL. Let's make use of one of our images. Then we can say dot slash. Let's use 3.jpg. That is what we are going to use for it. Now let's check our results. Can you see the pseudo element? So this came before the pseudo element. So the next thing, this one says the after pseudo element is used to insert some content after the content of a specified element. Use the content property to specify the content to insert. So we don't need to go further. We don't need to stress much. We can just change this one from before to after. It's not that difficult. It's like that. Just know, since it's before, one works for after. So now let's check it out. I hope we saved this one. So yeah. So can you see how the after works? So that's different between the two. One is before. If you want it before the content, and the next one is after the content. So let's move to the next one. So the next one says the marker pseudo element. The marker pseudo element is used to style the list item marker. So this is the example. Style the markers of the list item. Then let's go with the marker. So come here. We'll come here. We can have all of this. And in this aspect, we'll say H2 using the marker element. Then we are making use of, so marker works with a list. We'll say UL inside, we'll say UL inside UL, we'll say LI. Then we want a coffee inside this. We would go with another LI. We want a tea, another LI. We want a milk. Then we would do another one, which is ordered list. We'll do the same thing, LI. Inside this LI, we want a coffee, or let's say black. We can have another LI, which is creamy, like we are describing the kind of this thing we want. And we'll say LI, in this aspect, we'll say chocolate milk, yeah, chocolate milk, yeah. So we can have it like this. So let's come and style it. So let me comment this one out. Then in this space, we'll just say dot marker. Inside this marker, we can have the color to be red. And we can say the font size should be 2 pixel, 20 pixel, 220. Okay, let's make use of 20 pixel. Now let's check our results. As you can see how the marker works. So it works better for list. So that is how the marker works. And the next one is the CSS selection pseudo element. This selection pseudo element is used to style the part of a text that is selected by a user. So style the user selected text with a red color and a yellow background. I hope you understand. Thank you for watching this video. Please do well to follow us across all socials at Techie Academy. See you next time. Bye.